Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and everybody else is doing one. It's all we can do. It's what's old time. Okay, so this is Thursday when I'm filming this. I'm gonna probably release this on Friday morning, which means tonight, when you're watching this, we join here in Montana the ranks of the sheltered in place. The governor just put that order out this afternoon here, actually just, I don't know, 45 minutes ago or so. Uh, we have obviously far fewer cases than most people in the country, but our numbers are jumping quickly. A couple days ago, we were at 35, I think. This morning at the 8 o'clock update, it was 71. And our 4:30 update, we just hit 90. So it's jumping, and it's jumping really, really quickly. So we are going shelter in place. Now, I'm an essential employee. I work at the radio station. So I'm still going back and forth to work. I don't know. I assume pretty much everything else is going to be closed. So even if you wanted to go out and source, there's just nothing, nowhere for you to do it at. So the death fort back there, that's what I've got to work off of right now. And then I guess anything that I can find online, doing a little online arbitrage. So we'll see what goes on with that. But good Lord, dog. My dog is over there. Okay. Man. Okay, so we're going to run through some what solds, and I can't remember exactly where we left off with this last one. So I'm just going to jump back and we'll basically recap the week. It was, again, a little bit of an interesting week. But let's recap it. I did some of the Fridays, and I know in the previous video, so I'm just going to jump into the stuff that started coming in this past Friday evening. Now, this first one is if I'd have held out, this thing would have gone for maybe 24, 25 bucks, something like that. But went back and forth, and this was a buyer in New York. He was already sheltered in place and certainly willing to cut a deal. So sold this Call of Duty 1 and 2 Steelbook combo set for $18 plus shipping. We sent that priority shipping so he could get it right away. So that one went out. Then we sold this loose Funko Pop, this Black Widow, who is going to have a movie out eventually when movies start coming out again. Sold this for $14 free shipping, but loose Funkos don't weigh hardly anything, so that was a pretty cheap ship for that. And that was the end of Friday. Then on Saturday, we had this guy. He was not listed for very long. This Detroit Locker hat. Detroit Locker is it's car part, essentially. Not very many of these around, not one like this, so I listed a little high. I probably could have listed a little bit higher because it did move pretty quickly, but I am about $1.50 into this hat. I bought a whole bunch of hats that I'm about $1.55, $1.56 into. I bought them in a wholesale lot, and this sold for $21.24 free shipping. So that was the first one that I sold out of that group. I'm starting to list that stuff now, so we'll make up our money pretty quick off of that one. And then I also sold this. I actually thought this would go a little bit sooner. Thought it would go around Super Bowl time. It didn't, but it did eventually go. This was a brand new sealed NFL Monopoly. It's an older version of the Monopoly game, and got drop shipped on this one, which that's fine. I got this as part of that big bulk deal where I bought a pretty big chunk of another reseller's stuff he was getting out, and I went through and kind of cherry picked his stuff. Paid I think it was $200 for everything. We've already well made up our money on that. And so I took an offer of $35 plus shipping on this, and of course was asked not to include any paperwork. So that's fine. We made some pretty good money off of that. And that's all we sold on Saturday. But then let's move to Sunday, because we did okay on Sunday. So first off is this Simpsons game for the Xbox 360. Picked this up for $5 off a Facebook Marketplace buy. I've sold this game before, so I knew as soon as I saw it that this was a winner. This is good on multiple systems, but video games right now selling really, really well, of course. So if you've got video games, video game systems, any of that stuff, list it now, because there's a pretty good chance it's going to sell. Okay, and then we had this one. This was out of that big bundle deal that we made. This was the last sale that we got before things started to really get crazy. This was the old-fashioned sourdough starter kit. I actually opened it up, looked inside. Still brand new, dated 1971. So put in the ad, I cannot guarantee that this starter actually works, but they like the crock at least, and so they sent me an offer. I think I had it listed at like $32, something like that. They sent an offer of $29 plus shipping. That was a no-brainer. We paid $20 for the entire pile, so that one thing put us into the money, and we're still making money off of that thing. We've sold 2 more things out of that. I've still got a whole bunch to list. So 1971 sourdough starter and crock going out the door. This we also sold from that sale. This, the Toucan Sam stand-up. Sold it to a guy who collects and sells cereal stuff. Who knew that they, I should have known. There's collectors for anything. This, unfortunately, had some bends, had some folds in it. If it didn't, this is judging on some of the other stand-ups that I found, like that are in pristine condition. A Captain Crunch sold for, I think, 75 bucks. So if you find these are definite bolos. I had no idea. I just thought, this guy looks cool, I'm going to pick it up. I probably should have picked up the Rice Krispies guy, even though he had damage. I just kind of figured with the damage, and he didn't have his 2 partners, he was probably not worth much. And that's probably fair. This was pretty bulky to ship. Basically took a big box and put it in plastic first. Then 1 quick layer of bubble wrap around it, and then sandwiched it in the box, taped it all on the edges, and shipped it out. It was actually pretty easy to ship. Took a little bit of time just to cut the box down, but pretty cheap too. I think it was like $9 and change, something like that, to ship. So this guy was super excited. He sent me an offer of $38 plus shipping. I had it up at 42, 44, something, because I didn't know. I just had to guess. There are none of these out there. The good news is, I've got 2 more back here that now I can copy that listing, just take new photos, because they all have different creases and bends in different parts of them. So I can't use the same photos. I'm going to have to take new photos of each one. But now I can just relist this thing. So the listing's already made. I just need new photos. And now I know from somebody that collects this stuff, he was willing to go 30. He initially sent me an offer of 30, actually. And I sent him back and said, hey, guess what? I see that you buy and sell some of this stuff. I have 3 of them. Interested in all of them for $100 plus shipping. I just thought, let's get rid of them all. He was actually tempted, but he said he's actually getting rid of a lot of his duplicates and building up a collection of new stuff. So there are other people out there clearly willing to buy these, and I know if he was willing to pay 38, the market value is probably around 40, 45 bucks. That's probably pretty close. So 2 more of these Toucan Sams to list. If you're interested, let me know, because I'll cut you a good deal. We're already well into the profit on this unit. So that's really, really cool. Something else that's really, really cool and selling weirdly off. I thought these were going to go Halloween. This was a haunted house Halloween prop, essentially. I paid $16, I think, for boxes of doll parts from this estate sale. I went in the last hour. This lady had dolls everywhere and doll parts. So I picked up a bunch of torsos, heads, legs, screwed up looking dolls, thinking I'm going to sell these and lot them together as Halloween props. And we've sold a few. I've sold a box of some doll heads, and those were the creepiest looking ones I could find. These ones, pretty creepy too. I'll put up some, creepy. Somebody in Germany, though, sent me an offer of 40 euros, which pretty decent price. And so yeah, these shipped off to Germany. Now, with the COVID-19 stuff, some of the international shipping is getting stuck at borders. This happened right about the time that all of it was really starting to break. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that gets stuck. Do you guys have international orders? Are you having problems? Let me know. I'm curious. I don't know what's going to happen. My international orders have definitely dropped. I've only had a few. This one of them. So we'll see what happens. But I'm basically nothing into these. So that's a pretty nice profit. And then the final thing that sold on Sunday is this guy. I actually picked this guy up 2-3 weeks ago. Again, one of the final few trips to Goodwill that I made. I just saw this guy sitting there. The sell-through wasn't great, he didn't have tags. Some of them that were listed had tags, but I just priced low because I got them for 99 cents. So I priced under everybody that had one like this, $12.99, and somebody wanted a Porg. So $12.99, free shipping, but he just went into a poly mailer and out the door, so super easy, and we made pretty good profit off of that. So that's through the weekend. Let's look at Monday. Okay, so now we're into the week. Probably couldn't see my face because of the hat, so we flipped it around. Let's go. $24.99 for these animation cells. We're still selling through these. A little slow, but they're moving. About $5 or so a piece into these, and these were two different cells that laid that worked together. So I sold them together with Stratus and He-Man. Okay sale. I mean, we made money certainly because we're, like I said, about $10 in. We sold it for $24.99 plus shipping. Then this went out to Puerto Rico. This is an AC adapter for a Surface Pro. So sold this for, I think it was, well, you can see over there, $21.24. I think. Keep an eye out for adapters for laptops, for like this, like a tablet. People's cords fray out. They need to get new ones, or they lose them when they go on a trip or whatever. Dog eats them. They need new ones. eBay's the place they go. So $21.24 for an adapter. I think this was like $1 or $2 at local thrift. So this is a pretty good pickup. You can find what it goes to by just punching in the model number and looking at the comps. It'll tell you. And then this one, that was all we sold through most of the day. But the day was saved by this guy. We actually posted this Sunday night. My daughter and I tested it over the weekend, cleaned it, tested it, had 5 games. They all worked great. We played through them for a little bit to make sure that they worked. And if you, like I said, if you've got stuff like this, list it now. A GameCube. This sold for full asking price, so that was really nice. The nice thing about this is I packaged it so it was a ready-to-go thing. Like, you're not just selling somebody the system and then they got to go and buy games somewhere. They might have to buy a second controller somewhere. This was open the box, plug it in, and you're ready to go. So all of a sudden somebody has 5 games, a couple of driving games, a couple of Spyro games, stuff like that. This was a good combo. So I was not surprised that it sold quickly, sold less than 24 hours for full price. That's all we sold on Monday. Let's move to Tuesday. Okay, so the first thing on Tuesday was, as I said, very few international orders, but this was one of them. Paid a couple bucks at Goodwill months and months ago for this. I think it was $1.99. Finally, My Little Pony going to Germany. So again, we'll see what happens with international shipping. I don't know. And then I sold this. This was a really cool shirt from I think 1993. It's signed, the name on there. I looked him up. It was familiar, but I couldn't figure it out. He's a pretty famous rodeo photographer. So somebody took, I'm assuming, a piece of his photography and turned it into a t-shirt. Really cool single stitch rodeo shirt. And somebody in Wyoming sent me an offer of 15 bucks. They're our neighbors to the south. I was good with that. I think I had it listed up near 20, but 15 bucks. I paid $1 for it at Goodwill. Perfectly fine with doing that. So $15, that one going to Wyoming. And then somebody just down the road in Billings, Montana, sent me an offer for Stephen King's The Stand. Keep an eye out for this one. Now, The Stand itself sells okay, especially if you can find an earlier version, first edition, potentially. But this one is, and it says right there on the cover, so you'll know, this is the unabridged version, basically. It's a longer version. When he first put this thing out, he cut out like 500 pages or something like that. Well, this is the edition where he puts all those back in, so you get new characters, you get more background. This is one that people look for, and they'll pay up for it. Now, this buyer sent me an offer. I figured out the math. He wanted to be in this just a certain amount, is what he wanted. So I was fine with that. So we sent this one down the road to Billings. This was, it was either $1.09, I think it was $2.99 at Goodwill about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Again, this was, these are some of these things we're selling is the final few things that I picked up before things really got put on lockdown. So I had a feeling that this would go and it would not last long. I picked up some watchers, and cool to send it to somebody else here in the state. And then, I don't know, people are locked up, but they're still buying shorts. This pair of Hollister shorts going out the door. I've talked about these before. You guys know I like selling these. You can pick them up super cheap at garage sales, 25, 50 cents, 75 cents, stuff like that. You can pick these things up super cheap if they're short, if they're distressed. They're easy to store, they're easy to ship, and they will sell. A little bit slower, but they do sell anywhere between about 12 and 15 bucks typically. A lot of times it's free shipping, but they don't weigh a lot. So again, it's the quick nickel, right? You're making some money. So 12 bucks free shipping, but these did not weigh much. We only paid $1 at Goodwill, so pretty good profit on those. And then let's move to Wednesday as we just sort of fly through this thing. We're almost caught up. I sold this Nerf Super Soaker. Nerf, if you didn't know, originally held the rights to Super Soaker. I found this at an estate sale. Only found a couple things there. This one of them is just sitting in a shelf from 1997, still in the box, still has the zip ties on it. It sat around for a while. I actually thought that it would move a little bit quicker. This is not like a super desirable Super Soaker, not like the huge ones or anything, but I guess people are social distancing, and this is still strong enough to hit people at 6 feet. So this one is going out. They sent me an offer of 35 bucks plus shipping, so I took that, dropped that off at the post office today. Okay, and then these shorts right here, this again a part of that bulk deal with the other reseller. Took an offer of $17.50 plus priority shipping on these, so that a pretty good flip. And then last night also sold an HO scale train car. It's been a little bit since we sold one of those. Finally picked back up again. We sold this guy, so that's pretty nice. All in, the buyer was right about 22 bucks shipped, so that a nice flip. That part of the deal where I picked up a whole bunch of HO scale cars at the end of an estate sale. I'm 50 to 75 cents into all of these, so that a really nice sale. And again, one of these where I got a deal because I bought in bulk, so keep an eye on that sort of thing when we can actually get out there and buy things again. And now we've caught up to today. Today, as of about 5:30, this is again on Thursday, and we're going to cut it off after these because this video is long enough already. We sold another pair of short shorts, Levi's Denizen. These went for $13.99. That again, super easy sale. I got to pack those up here in a minute, but slide them in a poly mailer and they're done. Very easy. Something else that's going to be easy to ship out is this guy. I did pay up for this a little bit, but I knew it would sell. And I actually have 3 of these, two of one brand and size and one of another. So this is the first of the 3 to move now that we're getting into talking about the NFL, kind of. It was, for a little bit at least, the only thing going on. This Von Miller, this is a stitched Von Miller, so it's a very good. It's a new without tags jersey. Went back and forth. He started at like 20 bucks this morning. That wasn't going to happen, but denied him, and he came back with a little bit more reasonable offer of 30, and I sent him an offer of 42 or something, which is still a pretty good deal, and he came back at 38, and I thought, you know what, why not? So we took this deal, and you know what, I don't mind it. We're gonna make a few bucks. He's paying for shipping, so that a pretty good sale. And then we also took an offer on these guys. This came from that sale, the same place where we got the sourdough starter and Toucan Sam. This I took an offer for these vintage Pokemon figures. We sold these for $25 plus shipping. So now on that sale, I did the math today. We're up to about $80 in gross profits. So you take out the 20 bucks and we're sitting at about $60 net profit. I still have the Kirby vacuum stuffed list. I've still got 2 of the Toucan Sams. I've got some more vintage Pokemon listed and some to list. We're going to do really well off of that sale. I'm missing sales already, guys, but they're going to be here. Right now, it's just time to stay home. Let's get this thing under control. That's what we've got from the mountain today. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time, guys.